DC here. Hi, guys and gals. Well, hope you're well. It is Friday. I had to think about it for a second there. No, it's Friday, and well, the week's gone by rather quickly, despite all the rain. I'm gonna have to remove the water here. Well, maybe I'll leave it. The kids like to call it. The grandkids like to call it the lake when they come over, and they play in it a little bit before we open. That's like the sandbox. And for whatever reason, Michael loves this spot. I think he likes it because it's close to the tree. In summer, well, there's the barbecue tent here, and he likes to dig here with his Tonka trucks. And it's really his little corner. It's like his place. So we kind of leave it and not make a big deal of it. I'm wondering if we're going to have some new birds before long. We had some in spring, and now, well, they're just... I know that some birds I've seen have started to make their nests again. I can see that some birds have been showing their marks here as well, haven't they? Yeah. Well, it is certainly autumn. This tree is pretty much one of the last ones that starts to lose its leaves, and it is, yeah. So there's going to be some cleaning up to do here before long. Yeah, oh. It's part of the joys, and I guess I should say that in the real sense, not only in the cynical sense of the term of living in a house. It is. I mean, there's things to do. I'm not much of a gardener, I'll admit that. I thought I was going to be when I moved in here, because I'll just back up a bit. All this part, there wasn't that tree wasn't there then. So this is like 27 years ago. That tree wasn't there. There wasn't a tree. Nothing was there except it was where the garden was. And the people that lived before us. And I thought, well, I will do organic gardening. And I was like really zealous at it for a few years. Until I realized first off, how backbreaking it was. But the second thing was, I was getting such a lousy yield. I mean, my friends who were gardening in a more traditional way were getting great yields. I used to put it on the back of the quality of my dirt. Maybe that was true. Maybe it was. But at the same time, I was feeding it well, putting it that way. I would put, manure and stuff like that, and I was doing the things that you should do, but I really was not getting any type of decent yield. So I basically stopped. And Mrs. DC, she took over, but in a completely different way. She started doing these elevated gardens. I've showed them to you before. The ones that are, it's not as big, but she gets good yields. I mean, good enough. And none of us, it's weird. We were brought up in families where the garden was a big thing. I mean, my mom, my grandmothers, feminine, isn't it? I didn't say any man names here, male names, but they would have gardens, and big gardens, and they'd have a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruit, and my mom was a good gardener, but she was the gardener. Oh, we would go and help a little bit to take out some weeds, but we didn't really want to. It was like, come and help me. Okay. And we would go and we'd help. But I'm looking, like I say, at what they were doing, and sheesh, they had nice gardens. So I don't know. I guess I just do not have that green thumb. I wanted to, but I don't. So I turned around. Well, I shouldn't say I turned around. I always did a lot of cooking. started to cook more by trying to do things differently a little bit, like make my own flour and cook with things like that. Mix high quality vegetarian recipes with fancy meats, because you know what, the high quality vegetarian dishes make great sides at times, things like that. And now, as most of you know, I really get into cooking with instant pots and air fries a little bit. I'm getting into that now, but instant pots, that is my thing. There's and sous vide, what they call sous vide, which is controlled temperature cooking. So that's where I realized that I could pretty much excel at this type of thing. So I went there and I left the gardening to Mrs. DC. How come I'm talking about all this? I have no idea. That's the joy of a vlog. You just start and it decides almost on its own where you're going to be going, where you're going to be chatting. Yeah. One thing I do like doing though, I like mowing my lawn. I know I think it's just because it's like a walk, and I plug in my podcast or something, and just do it. And all of a sudden, the chore becomes alone time. I've been told it's the same thing about gardening, but anyway, that's another. I won't get into that discussion again because I already have. Yeah, so I guess that's kind of like my Friday vlog for today. I just finished walking something like that. I don't know, probably 4 kilometers, something like that. Let me see, how much have I walked? Yeah, 4 kilometers. So it's not an enormous amount, but you know something? I read not very long ago that those famous 10,000 steps are not actually necessary. You can get by with less. I guess, I don't know. Was that some lazy doctor that pulled that out? I don't know. It doesn't matter. I mean, I try to get out and be active at least a little bit. It helps. It helps in many ways. Anyway, that is enough for today. So I hope you have had a good week, because tomorrow's the weekend. And let's see, what time is it? It's 10:36. So in a little bit more than in an hour and a half about, I have my Spanish class. So looking forward to that. Let's see what we chat about today. I got a few little topics, but my teacher, he's just so he's so good at everything, and he's got such a great amount of general knowledge that usually chatting is not a pain, not at all, actually. So okay, that's it. Really is. DC signing off. Take care, everybody, and have a good Friday.